Why, hello everyone, and welcome to my treatise on the understanding of the maturation of cheddar cheese. Also, speaking of someone's level of professionalism, I had to wait because someone waited to use my office until like 6 minutes before the stream. So, just saying. But, why do I know? Oh, it's Q. So anyways, how is everyone tonight? It's today a Tuesday. Today's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. Today's a Tuesday. I don't understand what this means, but Godspeed, fellow traveler. Whatever helps you get off at night. We elbow coffin for, I'll fuck your mother. Fuck your dad, too. Bacon and egg. Ooh. Hello, Pixie. Haha, I don't know what this means, but I'm totally cool and hip with the kids. Hi. Hashtag banging your mom. I could good job. Congratulate. I don't. Yes, that's factually accurate as far as I understand. I am. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think. Pussy. Just this is entirely about just fat pussy. I don't know what this is about. I'm streaming. Fuck you. That's why. I don't know. It's about matured cheese. Didn't you read the stream title? I mean, blue wrenches. That's the thing I could do, but that would require me to put forth effort and actually go onto my YouTube channel. And I have motel internet, so like yeah. Oh jeepers. Oh god, this hoser here.
Hey, cat.
Hello, how are we doing today?
Good. I've been keeping an eye out since like 8:30.
Oh jeepers, hold on. What the fuck am I doing with my damn volume? Okay.
I mean, I was doing other things too. I even tortured myself by talking to somebody I know better than to talk to, but I was still keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I had work and then I came home from work and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta eat something for. It was a whole It was a whole thing. Oh, geez. I have so many people on guests. Okay, well, fuck it, I guess. Jeepers.
Bing bong, I have come.
Hi. I'm on a smoke break and you went live, so I was like, hell yeah, I'll come in for a second.
Bro, you went live the minute I ended mine.
You're welcome. Thank you. It just happened.
Oh god, Kincaid's here. We gotta shut it down.
God bless Guru, but last night she's like, you're like, oh, we don't have food here. There's no food on trees. And she's like, have you tried punching them harder for wood?
Yeah. I was just like, one, it's illegal. Two, they haven't invented shade in this part of the state. You have to go into the mountains to get trees. Like,
What are trees?
Yeah, I know. They keep cutting down more trees along the side of the road. And I'm like,
well,
we don't
yeah.
It's like, why are you getting rid of the only fucking, like, fuck off.
Well, it's ridiculous because, like, by me, there's trees, but they're the saddest trees you've ever seen. They're like the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. They're just taller.
They want to cut down our sycamore, and I'm just like, fucking no.
I still think we should.
The leaves are too big. They clog the drains, and I'm just like, then fucking do your job. Come clear the fucking drains. I don't know what to tell you.
I still think we should be like in all the public parks should have like fruit trees in them.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees.
I do. I think all public parks should have fruit trees in them.
But for some fucking reason, they speak Cantonese.
I don't. You should have come up to my side of town, Cat, because they were just literally giving away vegetables. Like they would have little stands.
Yeah, I can't come up there. Every time they get a bike, they get stolen.
That's true. I don't know what your deal with bikes is. I think it's just where you live or something. I don't know. That's a new thing that I'm hearing about.
What?
Like the third bike that's
what are we
stolen.
hearing about?
No,
my phone wasn't.
Like, how many times your fucking bike has been stolen?
3 times. I have had 3 separate bikes stolen in the past 2 weeks.
If I had a nickel for every time my bike got stolen, I'd have 3 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened that many times.
I told you the one time someone was just like, that's a similar bike to mine. And a guy at work was just like, yeah, I know where you can find a bike that's similar to the one you got stolen, and sent them to my fucking house to steal my bike. And then they came to my fucking work because he told them where I work. And then
you know what my
stole your
dad
bike
used
again.
to do? You know what my dad used to do because he was hyper paranoid that somebody was gonna. He used to fucking like race like bikes or something. I don't
wars?
fucking know.
He used to race wars?
I don't fucking know. He used to take the wheels off his fucking bike and chain it like a ridiculous amount of times. He had these wheels that just came off. Like
I have to take mine and bring it into the basement of my work.
Yeah,
wow.
If you just took the wheels off,
No, that doesn't mean shit because the last bike I had stolen was broken. It wasn't rideable.
And they still stole it anyway.
Have you, by the way, Kat, have you noticed that there's way more homeless people than they usually are? Especially for this time of year?
Yeah. There's one of them.
Going on?
I don't know what the hell. There's one of them who's on the corner by the fucking, the hockey hole.
Yeah.
And they just have a sign that says, have water, needs food. What the fuck does that mean? And why do you have 84 bottles of water lined up on the fucking guardrail? excuse me, sir and or ma'am, I need to be biking here. Like, I
I'm
also
sorry,
have
are
no
you
money.
a wasteland trader? Can I exchange for bottle caps?
Yeah, and it's like, it's September. Why are you wearing a coat that goes down to your fucking ankles? Like,
Why are you
what
wearing?
giant?
I
That's
know,
not
right?
a.
Why are you?
It's not
Why
a
are you
trench
wearing?
coat. It's not a duster. What giant did you steal that winter coat from?
Wearing a
Like,
Yao Guai fucking pelt. Yeah.
it's so confusing because where? Suddenly all my bike, and here's the thing, I'm like the dirty gutter shit scumfuck asshole compared to most of these people around here, and now suddenly I got people looking at me dirty because I'm not paying for their water that they're selling or something,
You
and
know what's
stealing
funny?
my bikes.
You know what you really need is that collapsible bike from Pokemon Gen 1 where it just fits in
Yeah.
your backpack. It's just a little midget bike or something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And, like, it's so annoying because the first one that was stolen from me was so comfy. I loved that thing. It was nice to ride. And they stole it. They waited until I got my bike fixed and then stole it.
Nah.
They waited for the tire to get fixed and new brake lines to get put in, then stole it.
You just fucking. You need a bike that you could just disassemble and bring upstairs.
What I need is like Skyrim, like you can do like conjure bound sword or conjure bound bow.
Conjure bound fucking bike.
Yeah, I just need to be able to like rip a Daedric bike straight out of Oblivion. 60 seconds at a time.
You need to get a chain and strap that bitch around your fucking neck.
Wear the bike chain on the fucking with the wheel like your Flavor Flav. Yeah. This is how I get to work.
Okay, so when the guys showed up at my job to like, they showed up at my work, and you know, I was like, I had to text my boss and like, fuck, I'm probably gonna be late to work. I just got my bike stolen again.
Yeah.
Again. Right?
What the fuck did he say, dude? What did he say to that? I want to know.
Nothing, because he was like busy doing shit. But like, I brought the bike chain with me just to be like, I'm not fucking with you. Seriously, they cut my bike chain.
Some of those bitches
and
taking
I
my
got
bike.
there. Well, the cocksuckers who were there were in his face. He's 80 years old. They were in his face yelling at him. And I was just like, all right, motherfucker. So you came to my house and you did this. You cut my fucking bike chain. Great. Get the fuck out of his house. He was like, hey, man, like, you know, I didn't do it personally. And I'm like, okay, well, fucking grab one of your cocksucking buddies who did, and you bring him up here and I'm going to throw hands. And I immediately took the bike chain I had just pulled out to be like, you fucking did this. And I wrapped it around my fucking forearm. And I'm like, I'm going to beat you to fucking death with this, motherfucker. And they ran away like pussies. They ran away from a crippled tranny and an 80-year-old man.
Awesome. That's
like,
based.
Yeah,
that is a very. You know what's funny is that is a very upstate New York thing to do.
Yeah, it is. I know, because that's happened more than once to me.
Yeah.
Where someone's been like, hey, I'm going to threaten you. I'm a big bad man. Oh, shit, there's an old man and a tranny. I don't know what to do now.
Uh-oh.
I guess I'm going to...
I ain't finna get canceled.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to be a part of this no more until I'm on the other side of a tall fence or maybe a castle wall or a moat.
Like that dude from the fucking Tool Time or whatever the fuck they called it. Home Improvement. Yeah, Tool Time was the show in the show, right?
Yeah. I have a running theory that Brett Keen's hiring people to steal your bike because you didn't come live with him.
You know what? I saw something. It was a dead ass. I have a screenshot, Kat. I'll send it to you later. Somebody around this area somebody around this area died, and apparently they were from Missouri, and I shit you not, 2 of the addresses were places that Brett lived, and like not
Oh,
like
fuck.
the actual like a town. One of I have the screenshot. I can go look for it, but one of them was Festus, and the other one was where he currently lives. And I'm
Oh,
just like, oh my fucking god, what are the odds?
Did Brett Keane get murdered? What the fuck?
okay.
No,
Will.
no. It was the dad of somebody who lives here.
Oh, so Brett Keane put a hit out on somebody.
Yeah, because he's the
He kept buying
situation
all
father.
He kept buying all the mac and cheese, and he
Wait,
had to
what
stop
was
him.
that movie called? Was that Gemini Man? Does Brett Keane have a Gemini Man individual situation?
He's not the Don of Festus. He's the Dorn of Festus.
You come to me
the
on the
Dorn.
day of my mac and cheese eating.
On the day of my mac and cheese being wed.
Being wet mac and cheese.
Wed. The macaroni and the cheese are having the wedding. Get it?
I got it.
No, cat itch. You come to me on the day of my waterhead's wedding.
Yeah.
A waterheading, if you will.
I'm sorry, Pixie, that this chaos has unfolded and you had no real context for.
Pixie just entered a room full of autism and just didn't expect it.
No worries.
So is Mr. Lizard having crippling depression, or what's happening with him?
I hope so.
I don't know, man.
Like,
I haven't heard
like-
from Lizard in like a year or two.
Well, the motherfucker went super woke, and I have no idea why. And I don't feel comfortable saying that word because it's skeevy. But there's no other word for what he's become.
What do you mean he's become super woke? What the fuck does that even mean?
Like he's like fucking. He's like stereotype. Like far
Oh God.
left. Yeah.
Like if I
He's
had no
evolving.
critical thinking skills.
So he's
Right.
evolved.
Yeah, like a Democrat talking point come to life.
Ugh.
Hey, Mr. Lizard evolved into Wokemon.
I guess.
Speaking of which, how's the fucking new DLC, by the way, Will?
How is it? It was windy. No, I'm just kidding. It was very short.
Was it worth the money though?
Not yet.
Has any Pokemon game been worth it since?
So here's the thing, and I have to go in a minute because it's almost midnight and my smoke break's almost over. But literally the only reason that they made Kitakami is because they looked at their map of places that they've already used in Japan for settings for Pokemon games and goes, what are we gonna do with this really weird end tip just before like fucking Sinnoh? And they're like, yeah, we'll throw it in a DLC.
Fuck it, why not? You retards will buy it.
And basically, like all 3 components of the game are synergistic, so they're all tied in together. So,
Oof.
like, you don't even.
That's rough.
Like, yeah, like there's a 4th legendary or something. That.
Well, I hope the second round of DLC is worth it, because.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I had fun, but there was just so much talking, and there doesn't need to be.
I mean, at least they brought in some good Pokemon, though.
It's a Pokemon game.
We live streamed day 1 for that whole thing.
Yeah, dude, I missed it because I had to work a fucking double that day.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get going, but I'll
Yeah,
talk
get
to
out
you
of here.
Yeah.
Later.
Later.
Get out of my house, Mr. Kincaid. So, Pixie,
I should probably leave here soon too, because I gotta be at work at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. But fuck it,
Jesus.
I'll stay for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, Pixie, I'm sorry we rudely interrupted you with loud shenanigans.
Yeah, we did.
There a conversation. Oh, Pixie's probably doing stuff.
I'll be right back. I'm helping somebody look. I'm helping my husband look for something.
All right.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
So how you been, Kat? Other than getting your shit robbed?
Really confused. Just really, everything here has gotten so much more chaotic out of fucking nowhere, which is fine. I'm used to chaos. I live in chaos, but like, you can't go from me being able to leave my bike at like, you know, like I have my bike tied up at like a gas station while I'm in there for 6 minutes to take a shit and buy a bottle of water, right? And it's fine. Maybe they fucking attach a weight to one of my, you know, spokes or something, and haha, funny. That's about the worst to get to me getting multiple bikes stolen. Like, with no lead up. No lead up. It's just.
Oh yeah, you never did hit me up. Did you figure out the shit that you needed for your ID and everything?
I need to figure that out. It's.
God damn it.
Well, it's gonna be $25-$30.
Well, get everything together, and I told you when I get paid, I'll help you out.
Yeah, I know. I just need to. I have the paperwork. I just need to go through it, and then I need to bike to the next county over, or, you know, no matter. I didn't have a bike for a hot minute. Every single time I got a new bike, it got stolen the next day. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to get to the DMV when everyone keeps stealing your bike. And I've been working 7 days a week. So, yeah. Because we have the health inspector coming this week.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I got to pull a 10-hour shift tomorrow and fucking Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun.
The longest shift I ever have to work is 6 hours. Maybe 6.5. But it's like...
No, they got me... They got me working 2 10s and then a 9. And then I'm off for 3 days and then a 4-hour. So yeah, it's
I'll trade you.
It's not. I'm not complaining. It's just that we're understaffed as fuck. So like, it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be worth it whenever, because I'm going to fucking Ohio Ren Fair in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, fun.
I'm gonna get fucking sloshed at a Ren Fair.
Yeah, that's what you do at a fucking Ren Fair.
I'm gonna get a big ass turkey leg and a bunch of fucking mead.
Or beer. They usually.
I don't like beer, man. I've tried so hard to like it.
You don't need to like it, but a lot of times, a lot of Ren fairs, they'll sell you a mug for like $25,
and you can just keep refilling it.
Yeah, and it's all the beer you can want.
Yeah, I tried. So this past weekend, I tried mead for the first time, and that shit's not bad.
Yeah,
like I don't fuck with wine, but like mead's not bad.
Yeah, it's like I used to get
honey mead.
Well, it's a honey wine. Yeah, that's what it is. It's fermented honey alcohol. It's real good. And like they've got like elderberry and cherry, like Viking's blood mead. That's like cherry flavored mead. It's so fucking good. They have elderberry mead, mulberry mead. They have all kinds of delicious.
I love mulberries, but I've never had mead.
Oh, I'll have to like mulberries. They're delicious. If you eat like 2 pounds of them a day for 3 days straight, you'll die. But
I'll see if the people I'm going with are cool with me streaming it, and if they are, then I'll fucking stream me at the Ren Fair.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, so I don't think I told you, but whenever when I celebrated my 1 year and sobriety anniversary, my friends gave me a guitar. So I've been playing the fuck out of that.
Hell yeah.
Like I hadn't played when I got it, I hadn't played in like 5 years, dude, so I almost made my fucking fingers bleed. They were so sore the next day.
Yeah. I am almost entirely callous because my job is removing broken glass and washing dishes and touching hot things and putting bottles and things. I was already mostly callous, but at this point, it's just my feet and my hands are the same leathery texture. You know what I mean?
Dude, my boss and I found out yesterday that I can't wash dishes at work
Why? What'd you do?
because I'm allergic to the fucking soap.
Oof.
I stuck my arm into the fucking sink and it like turned bright ass red and fucking started making like welts and shit. And like, oh, that's not. Hey, boss, might be something wrong.
Yeah,
I'm allergic to certain kinds of dish soap and certain kinds of laundry detergent. It makes me break out in hives.
Yeah, I'm allergic to some deodorant that makes me break out. And
Yeah,
some
me too.
makeup just makes my skin like melt off my face, and it's horrifying.
Dude, I can't like so. I've been going to like I have this LARP group that I go to every couple of months, and I can't wear makeup, dude. I'm too autistic. Like legitimately, I can't do it. Like it feels gross.
You feel gross.
Well,
You feel
yeah,
gross.
of course it feels. It's. I don't think it's meant to feel good. It's meant to look good.
Well, I mean, I'd rather feel good than look good. Just saying.
Well, you just need to drink enough alcohol, and then you feel good and look good. Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah. But
So-
dude, like I've been having fucking fun, man. So do you still got bugs chained up in the basement?
Yeah, we still live in Jorn's mom's house without Jorn, and
Are you
we have our
feeding them
tiny
Cheerios?
sex pet. Am I what?
Are you feeding them Cheerios still, or are you feeding them something else?
Well, Cheerios with my piss. Yeah, that's about it.
Well, you know, a growing boy needs his nutrients. So
Yeah, that's pretty much.
as long as you're feeding your gimp, that's all that matters.
Well, that's all I can afford. Okay, I can only afford piss and Cheerios.
Speaking of piss, dude, so the friends that I live with have been getting me more healthy, and so like I don't know how to explain this, but I can't drink the fucking city water because it just tastes like ass, and if something tastes bad, my body just rejects it. So they bought me I bought myself this I think it's called like a Circle Q or some shit like that. And
Oh,
it's
a
a water
circle with a Q. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it tastes like fruit punch or whatever, and I've drank like 9 bottles a day,
Well,
and now I can't stop pissing.
yeah, that'll happen when you drink. Look, as someone who is a hydration enthusiast, I like water. I like fluids of all kinds. Straight water, city water, gay water, spring water, soda, beer water. Like, I
You
like
drink
all
soda
kinds.
water? What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?
Well, there's flavor in it.
Okay.
It's not like seltzer where it's like bitter. Just carbonated.
Fucking freak.
Yeah, well, I like all kinds of fluids, okay? I like a lot of fluids.
You can drink my
But-
fluids, you fucking weirdo.
But I pee a lot.
Dude, it's so fucking annoying. Like, I've woken up 3 different times having to piss, and it sucks. Like, I'll be in that good ass, like, fucking nice sleep, and, like, fucking feeling great about myself, and then I'll wake up and I'll fucking piss, and it'll take me forever to go back to sleep.
Yeah, but like your body will thank you for it. How do you think I'm able to abuse my body so much? It's because I drink so much water. I
You're
can
a
get
fucking trash
away.
panda.
Yeah, a well-hydrated one. I can get away with doing too much tobacco or drinking too much or eating nothing but ramen for 4 weeks straight because I drink enough water.
Yeah,
Also-
that's true.
So I shaved the other day for the first time in like 8 months or something.
Yeah.
I look like 22 years younger.
Uh-oh. Fucking Spooky's giving your boyfriend ideas about food.
Oh yeah, no, Bugs is only allowed.
Piss and Cheerios.
Bugs is allowed to lick my used deodorant and also have piss with Cheerios. That's it.
God, if Pixie was listening to this, I wonder how fucking cursed she thinks this is.
Oh, she probably is, because she did say she was back. So
I do miss you though, Kat. Like, I wish we could hang out way more than we do.
I mean, I work every day.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm gonna save up enough money to come see your goofy ass.
You can see my bike. It's a beer bike.
I'll steal your bike.
I don't think you understand. If you steal my
bike... It's okay if I do it. It's only okay if I do it.
If you steal my bike, I will do things that haven't even been thought of by the people who signed the Geneva Convention. You understand that, right? I will do crimes so heinous that not even the Geneva Convention has considered them.
Do you mean the Geneva suggestion? We're not even fucking signed on.
You know, fair enough.
Geneva suggestion. Don't worry, it's only okay if I steal your bike, because at least I'll give it back.
You know, if someone stole my bike for 2 days and gave it back, I would just be like, you rascal. I hate you, but you rascal.
It's like upgraded and shit.
No. I mean, like, just stole it, rode it to work and back once, and then left it for me again. I'd be like, I hate you, but you rascal. You gave it back. Nothing damaged.
I'm gonna like fucking steal your bike and put like a motor on it or some shit.
No. You want me to get fat?
Yes.
No.
That way I can cook you in a stew.
No. I need the bicycle to be pedal powered, because that means I can drink as much beer as I want. I can eat as much ramen as I want.
If I get you fat enough, I can cook you into a stew and feed you to bugs.
Yeah, well, I'm not getting that fat. I ain't going that big, man.
Speaking of getting fat, dude, I need to lose more weight. I've lost like 10 pounds.
Have you tried bicycling more?
Yeah, I've been walking more. Like, I walk to and from work every day.
Yeah, but walking is not bicycling. I mean,
I don't have a bike.
Yeah, well, I just steal one like everyone else does, apparently.
Like, hey, kid, give me your fucking bike.
Okay,
I ride to work on the fucking Spider-Man tricycle. Okay,
I didn't tell you about this. My first bike, my best bike. It was beautiful, amazing, comfy. I had a kid one day. This kid was like following me, and mind you, this kid is like maybe 12 years old and comes up to like maybe my mid bicep, right? And I didn't think this kid was shouting at me. Like, I got my headphones on, I'm listening to music or a podcast or, you know, whatever the fuck I'm doing. And I'm at a stop and I'm waiting. And I realize this kid's shouting at me, and I turn and look at him and I'm like, stop. Stop, man. And he's just like, I think that's my bike, racial slur. And I was like, excuse me, what the fuck? Oh, mind you, he's a tiny little white.
Hello? Did you die?
What the fuck's happening? And like, he's following me through an intersection saying it's his bike. One, I know it's not his bike. because I know the guy who built it out of spare parts.
Right.
I know it's not that kid's bike, right? Like, I was gifted this bike. The guy made it, right? I know it's not a bike you can buy. It's made out of random fucking parts. And it was so nice. But he's like, it's my bike. It's my bike. Give me my bike back, bitch. And this kid threw a sucker punch at me. A 12-year-old who didn't even come up to my shoulder. A fucking 52-pound kid threw a sucker punch at a fucking 5'9", 260 some odd pound
Tranny.
fucking flesh golem. Yeah. Like,
Jesus Christ.
well,
Did you
here's the
kick
thing.
him?
Like, well, I was on my bike and like I had started pedaling, and he fucking tried to throw a sucker punch at me, and I was like, "What in the goddamn's wrong with you, boy?" And I just
I would've
kept
ran
on
him
going,
over.
and he laughed. Well, he was to my side, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
See, this is why you
What?
need to learn how to kick flip your bike, so you can just kick flip somebody in the face.
Well, I have brakes on my bike. If I do that, that snaps the brake lines.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I like
You
to be
probably
able to
need those. You probably need those.
Well, you don't. It's just it really sucks because then it wears holes in every part of your shoe.
Yeah.
Because you either have to like hold your shoes on the tire or like on the ground or, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna start a GoFundMe for fucking bugs, and it's help me not eat piss and Cheerios.
Yeah.
Help Ted
Anyways.
get a new bike.
I have a bike. It's actually very nice.
Next time your bike gets stolen, dog, we're starting you a GoFundMe.
It lives in the house with me now.
Well, that's good. Do you
it's in
feed
the
it?
room. Well, it's an indoor bike. I don't keep it chained up outside because if it's chained up outside, Bike PETA comes and takes it away apparently for abuse.
Do you feed it twice a day?
Yeah. And I brush
Does it
its
have a
teeth
bathroom?
once a day.
Does it have a bathroom spot?
Yeah. I have a gear lube
A
box.
gearbox, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, you take care of your bike better than you do bugs.
But yeah, obviously.
Well,
I can't ride bugs to work.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna say none of that. Never mind. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Oh, they'll arrest me if I do that.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Can't you see I'm trying to fuck my boyfriend here? Fucking cops like, dude, what are you doing? I'm fucking my boyfriend. Get out of here.
The cops, honestly, around here would be like, "Hey, stop it."
Why is there two homeless people fucking?
No. They're really, they do not like the homeless around here.
I don't doubt it, bro. Oh, I didn't tell you so in my neighborhood there were two people that had the cops on them, called on them because they were fucking, and apparently it was a noise complaint, and somebody thought they were getting abused. Shit was funny as hell.
All right. Pixie, are you back?
I've been back for a long
Right.
time.
I know. I just didn't know if you left because this conversation kept on going on, and I would not have blamed you if you did.
No, you guys say some interesting things.
Fucking Pixie with her fucking notebook over here writing down, and Quentin said this at like 12:20 a.m. fucking September 22nd.
No, I don't. I'm not taking notes. Everything's fine.
Your Honor, I plead the insanity plea. I was not in my right mind. I got fed piss and Cheerios.
I was just letting you guys catch up.
All right. Well, I do have to hop off here, Kat. I should probably get going to bed soon.
All right. Well, talk at you later, bud.
Yeah, hit me up when you get a second, and we'll hook you up on that ID shit.
Sure, yeah.
All right, later.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And now, there were two.
So you have enough. Oh, but is this bike as comfortable as the first one?
No.
You seem to really
No.
like that one.
That one, okay, the handlebars were at the perfect angle for me. The seat was at the perfect angle. I didn't have to lean too far forward or too far back. I didn't have to sit too far down or too far up. It was like I had the exact right. I got it right, so I was able to pedal without having to like lean too far forward on the. And it had like dual shocks on the motherfucker. It was great. This one is also very good. It's just made for someone different shaped than me. But, you know, it's still incredibly good. It's more or less comfy. I just don't like to lean forward on my bike. You know what I mean? I have what we call a fucked up back, I believe is the medical term.
Oh, I have that problem too. But I have to get bikes that are made for like young teenagers and stuff.
Yeah. No, I can understand that. You are what's that condition called? Short. You're short.
Yes, I am short. And on top of that, what's worse is that I have I don't have long legs, right? And you think obviously you're short, you don't have long legs, but I mean like I have a sister who is
Oh,
only
you're
about
like
a half.
me, where you're mostly torso.
Yes, like she's
Yeah.
like a half an inch taller than me, but her inseam for her jeans is like 2 inches longer than mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the hell is this? But like when we were driving, though, she would make fun of me because she would be like, you have to scoot the seat all the way up to reach the pedals. Ah ha ha ha. And she would be like making fun of me. But then I was like, that's true, but you know what? I don't have to sit on phone books and cushions to see, so take that.
Yeah, I don't have to sit on 3 stacked up like high school level science textbooks to see out the window. Yeah.
Yeah. So not only am I short, but I also do not have long legs.
Yeah. You should never go to Wisconsin or Michigan or Minnesota because you will be impossibly short. I was
Probably.
short there. I don't think you understand. I was short.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm 5'1.5". You think that's bad? Our poor super Budgeton, bless her little heart. She will be 18 in December, right? 18.
Yeah.
And I had my fingers crossed for her, right? Because I didn't have my big growth spurt. I didn't like hit like 5'1", 5'1.5". I didn't get that far until like I think my big growth spurt was the summer right before my senior year. But we made it past that for her. She will be 18 in December, and she is 4 feet 9, about 9, maybe 9.5 inches.
Well, hey, if it makes you feel any better, my dad was like 5'6" for like from the time he was freshman in high school until the time he was like 21. He was 22 and grew like 7-8 inches. Apparently, you can just do that sometimes. I
I don't
doubt
know. I think
it's
she's going
gonna
to
be
be like
that.
my great grandmother. My great grandmother was 4'9".
Oof.
So I think she's gonna I think she's gonna be 4'9", 4'9.5". Bless her tiny little heart.
That is short. That is a foot shorter than me.
You know,
Jeez.
I've always been so short. Like, I'm the shortest even of my siblings. Well, my tallest sister's only 5'3", right? But my brother is 6'2", 6'2.5". So I'm the shortest of all of us. And so I always thought, like, one of these days I'm going to have to be looking up at Super Munchkin, getting her in trouble, right? But no, she stands to, like, she hits my eye, like where my eyebrows are. She hits about right there, like the top of my nose. That's where she stands, and I'm only 5'1", 5'1.5". So
Well, that's about where I stand on my mom, but my mom's 5'11", maybe 6 foot, you know? So I'm like 5'8", 5'9", so I don't know what the fuck happened with my parents. My mom's like 5'11", 6 foot. My dad's like 6'2". And I'm the tallest by a half
see,
a foot.
I don't think any of us ever, like, my brother's 6'2", right? But I'm 5'1.5". One of my sisters is 5'2". My other sister's 5'3". My dad was only, like, I always thought he was like 5'7", 5'7.5". But he might actually, according to my mom, have been about 5'6" or 5'6.5". My mom was 5'4" before the accident. She's 5'3" now. So, but my mom's brothers are all pretty tall. All her brothers are pretty tall. I don't know. My grandfather he wasn't that tall. He was probably like 5'11". But his sons were taller than him. My dad's side of the family, though, is pretty short, and I think that's where we get our short genes from. I know great grandma George was on his side of the family. She was the one that was 4'9". She was also dancing and singing and eating steak on her 104th birthday. So what am I to say, you know?
Yeah, my great grandma was, I mean, she was taller than 4'9", but not by a lot. You know, she was probably your height, and she was meaner in hell, and every day drank, you know, coffee that you get from jail commissary, you know, that shitty instant coffee. Every day she drank that half and half with whiskey, just moonshine corn whiskey, and with her cigarettes, her roll your own cigarettes every day. She lived to be like 109 or some bullshit. So maybe being short does good for you, or maybe being pissed off does. Who knows? Maybe it's being happy. We really don't know.
I watched this documentary that was pretty fascinating. It's pretty new. I mean, it's not conclusive or anything, but it's really interesting. And he does talk about their diets and stuff like that, but he also talks about like their way of life. But he went to the places where it's not just like they have a longer life expectancy than us, right? He went to places that have like really like high concentrations of centennials, people who live over 100. And he would go to these villages and he would talk to these people. These people were in their hundreds and they were completely lucid, right? Like they're painting, they're chatting with you, they're telling jokes. He asked who everybody in the room was because one of them was having a birthday party, and she named everybody. She's like, those 2 are my daughters. Those 3 over there are my grandkids. That's my son. I mean, she was just naming everybody. She's like, that one's my sister. And like, they were just 100% lucid. It was insane. And then he also went to this place that had not just the highest level of like concentration of centennials, but what impressed him about this place was that it wasn't like usually people who have centennials, like the women will outnumber the men 5 to 1. But in this place, they had a 1-to-1 ratio. And the documentary takes you through like the diet and just like the lifestyle of these two places pretty much, and it was pretty interesting.
I mean, I always find it fascinating because I have one of them's dead now, but I had 3 grandparents who were fully lucid, and 2 of them were old. One of them was just old, regular, what you would expect for someone who's in their mid to late 20s, and then 2 of them were old. My grandmother is 98. She's 98. And she's like a great-great-great-grandmother at this point. I think she just had her first great-great-great-grandkid. Because, like, she has kids who are old enough to be my grandparents. This part, she's all there. She knows every one of her grandkids' name, every one of her great-grandkids' name, every one of her great-great-grandkids' name. She knows who's related to who and how. She knows, she knows every single human being in a fucking 20-mile cubic radius.
Yeah.
Like, and she lives by herself. Her husband died 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Like, and he was living there perfectly fine too. They didn't need no help. He just heart gave out one day. He was fine, and one day it just didn't work no more. And like I said, she's 98. She's still out there kicking. She's raising grandbabies and shit. She don't give no fuck. There's no. And then my mom's side of the family, my grandma has been senile basically since I've been alive. She's had mental problems since she was like 48. So I have one who's just like, hey, what? What do you mean you want to go to the subway station? We don't have a subway station here. Oh, you want spaghetti? Like, just nonsensical. So I just think that's really interesting. Like, I don't know. Am I gonna go insane by the time I'm 45, or am I gonna live to be 112 and be fully conscious of it? Who knows? I just find that whole thing interesting.
I don't want to lose my mind, but I don't. If I do, it's not like I have any choice in the matter, right? So.
Well, I got brain damaged kind of bad, and I lost a lot of my smart. But I'm still smart enough to be consciously aware that I'm not as smart as I was, and it's incredibly frustrating for me every single day. But if I completely just lose it, I don't think I'm going to know that I lost it, and I think that's kind of okay. I think that's less painful. That's my hot take. Unless I know that I'm nuts and I can't do anything to stop it, in which case that sounds... Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want... Sharp people live longer.
You are plenty smart, by the way. Don't ever say that you're not.
Oh, no, I know I'm still smart. But I'm not where I was, and I hate that. I mean, look, okay, you gotta realize, imagine one day you're just out here being like, yes, look at all these smart things I can do. These thoughts in my head that I can conceptualize verbally, emotionally. I can draw them in a drawing or paint them in a painting to convey my understanding of this world to the masses. And then now I'm just like, a beep boop, I do funny joke.
I don't know. I think you happen to say plenty of very intelligent things. You may deliver them in
Me.
a blunt or harsh manner, but it's not lacking in thought.
I don't know.
Oh.
I just.
No, not you. Sorry.
Oh no, you use your word. My brain hurt. Brain hurty. Give me a second. You use your words first. Okay, no. Me use.
Yeah, I don't know. I just.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
don't.
didn't hear you. I heard you say something other than what you said. If give you a second, I am very sorry. Bugs told me that's what you said. I don't know what I heard, but I
Okay.
heard something that wasn't that. I apologize. This goes in with the drain damage whole thing. Sorry. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to jump off, but I really apparently my mom is stuck, and we need to go help her. But I shall return.
All right. Well, I'll hang out for a while. How does that sound?
All right. Bye, Kat.
All right. Hail Satan and all that jazz.
Well, hello, fellow Cheddar heads. I'm the least sketchy marmoset on this block, and I'm gonna tell you that I really do like my cheddar on my head. Yeehaw. Damn, that is unfortunate that this young lady has left this cheddar talk.
Oh no, I'm giving you that voice. That's just that's what you get today. That's what you get. Because cheddar heads, I don't. What, you giving me sass over there? Okay. Then I'm gonna pretend you are. Do you want painkiller? It's a painkiller. It'll make your stomach hurt more. Well, I'm sorry.
It's been Colby Jack recently, but beggars can't be choosers or something like that. I don't rightly know. I mean, I just work in a poor cheese mining town in Colorado, and I swing my pickaxe, and I work in the company town, and I'm making my cheddar to buy my cheddar.
I don't know where I'm going with this. This is. I wish I was more drunk so I could at least have an excuse for behaving this ridiculously, but I don't. I am just. Yes, bugs love sauces. I am just excited to be back. You know what I mean? Yeehaw! Spooky also loves sauces. Just call me the sauce boss. I get lost in the sauce like it's frogs. I'm basically Eminem. Well, I'm pretty sure they all heard that, so good, Jordan.
I get lost in the sauce balls like a frog sauce in a sauce frog balls. I'm Eminem.
I'm Sauce Eminem. Sauce Eminem.
Not to be confused with Sus Eminem.
I noticed there was a link to join. It took me a minute to find it. I was like, oh. feel like
Oh yeah, I just
turtle.
leave it in the description. Hey, it's just where it lives. I forget to link it and pin it because, well, okay, I don't forget. I'm lazy. I could pretend I forget, but I've only really forgot once or twice. It's just I've gotten lazy.
Yeah, they call that selective memory, I think. They're like, yeah, I could have, just chose to ignore that one. Just let it go.
Yeah. I'm just like, there's one place where it is. I don't need to have two. I'm just gonna
There's only so many
ignore it.
compartments, right?
Yeah. Hey, I've had a lot of my faculties ran dry in the past week or so. I went to court, and then that same day got a bike stolen, borrowed a bike, brought it back, got a new bike, got that bike stolen the same day, borrowed a bike, got it back, or borrowed a bike, got a new bike, gave that one back, and then my broken bike got stolen too. It's fucking I've had
Do you think it might have been the same people that stole the bike?
the first bike I think was just someone with a lot of fucking balls because it was directly in line of sight of me washing dishes. Because the dish pit, if you do a 180 turn, you're staring out the door. So someone just ran up and stole it as like one of the waitresses left, like right after. In between two waitresses leaving.
I was driving home the other night, and it came to my mind because I was just driving through the intersection, like it's a major cross street, like it's not like it's like a well-lit intersection.
Yeah.
A few blocks from my house, and there was just these two tweakers. I mean, they looked like they were tweaking, right? These two people were just tearing apart bikes on the corner, and they clearly had like half a dozen bikes or something. Like they were just tearing pieces off of them in full view of anybody. And I was like, should I call this in? It's not my business. It's like a few blocks from my house. That could be my neighbor's bike. But I'm like, at the same time, but I mean, it's people like they do that. They'll go out on these sprees, and the cops don't even investigate it, and people don't bother to report it. So they're just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like,
oh, the second bike that got stolen, we have because the person showed up at my work to gloat that they stole it from me. Because there's like 3 of them that showed up, and it was a similar bike to their friend's bike. Right? Which, sure, it is similar, except it's not that bike. I know it's not, because I got it for someone who's had that bike for 10 years. I get that you're, like, real proud of yourself and everything, but, like, I have video of them from the place I live from 3 different angles. I have video of them from my work, and they left a bad review at the restaurant I work at. So we have their name and picture, and they told us where they fucking live. And my boss followed them like fucking Metal Gear Solid style back to their house to actually show that that's where they lived. And they do live there. We have all that, and the cops are just like, well, that sucks, don't it?
yeah, don't you have the receipt for the bike? Yeah, now I need to save all my receipts. Yeah.
Like, we have pictures of the person who owned it the fucking 12 hours before I did with the bike going back 8 years. They have the receipts for the bike. Like, no.
That blows my mind. Like, but you can file an insurance claim if you had it insured. You could just like claim it. It doesn't even have to have actually existed. You know, yeah. I had a
A
diamond
bike I got secondhand. I
in my
totally
pedal.
got insurance on in less than a day
Yeah.
of owning it.
That's
Oh.
rough. You know what's satisfying? I like. I've watched some of the videos of the would-be bike thieves when they
Oh yeah.
they'll rig it up so the bike will either be like chained to something or the tire will be loosened, so it'll just go over the handlebars as they
Yeah.
try to take off.
Or, my favorite is when they have like a really thin, like, you know, one of those like fishing line things, but the heavy duty ones that are really hard to see, and they try and bike off with it, and then like it hits the end of it and they yeet off the edge. I like
Yeah.
that. That's fun.
Those are amazing.
Or, you know, the fucking taser handlebars. That's good too.
I've not seen that. That's worth looking into. Yeah, electroshock therapy. It works for a lot of people.
I think like I don't know if it's the handlebars or if it's part of the bike or something, but I think that's funny and damaging. But I think like when they have the tube that just shoots up through the seat, that's just damaging and not funny. That is just, you've torn that human being a second and probably a third asshole. Don't do that. Like the pneumatic shunk thing. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I haven't seen that. I know there's, the traditional technique, which is taking the seat off your bike when you chain it up to be like, okay, ride that one out of here. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
if you sit down, you're never sitting down again, right? That whole post up there.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. I saw that recently. I was like, I could see how that would be effective. But a lot of kids would just also blow that off and just stand up and pedal,
Yeah. It was like if someone was like, "Hey, I have a bike, but it doesn't have a seat," I'd be like, "Well, that's still better than walking. I can move at the speed of running without having to put in the effort of running."
Speaking of which, I went running last night spontaneously. It was pretty satisfying. I mean, I
Ugh.
didn't go very, but yeah, no, I just felt the need to start running. So, yeah, there was nobody out. So.
You know, that's
Actually,
that's
I
good.
the CrossFit center over here, and I looked at them in spite while I was doing it, even though there was nobody there.
I mean, I used to like running. Now I'm out of shape for me, which I think is probably not out of shape for most people. But I'm out of shape. I can't do running no more.
Oh, they keep telling me I'm super healthy. I went to the doctors today, and they're like, "Nope, nothing wrong with you. You need to make better lifestyle choices or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, cool, that sounds fun." But in the meantime, so they're like, "Yeah, I guess it's good." I keep seeing doctors who are like, stop getting too fucked up. That's pretty much along. But I have more fun. Like yesterday, I went skateboarding, and then I went for that run.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't feel like I'm sore today, but I didn't have a massive hangover. So I think I'm going the right direction with that one. But yeah.
I am gonna say, when I was working out more, when I was working out, 5-6 days a week, between 1.5 and 4 hours a day, every day, I could drink a fucking infinite amount and wake up the next day and not be hungover. I could drink a 1.75 that night, go to bed at 2:30 in the morning, wake up at 9 and be like, I feel great. I'm only going to be 10 minutes late to work. I feel awesome. I'm beautiful. This is great. I don't know if that's just because I was younger or if that's because I was working out a lot, but I think it, I don't know, gets the shit out faster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but there's like the flip side of that because I did like flip out on my coworker yesterday, so that happened,
Yeah.
and I feel like maybe that's why I went running afterwards. Like I didn't flip out full on, but like I had to actually like leave work. Like I called in and I was like, I need to leave because I'm gonna punch this guy in the face. Was like the type of thing that happened. So and it was like, okay, so in that case, they didn't want to let me go, but there may be some repercussions. But it's not like I was like, okay, you still have a guard here. It's not like post abandonment, but yeah, at the same time, like I can't deal with this fucking person, like at all. So there's like a high level of anxiety involved with that. Like I felt like later on, I was like, well, maybe I could have just like ran it off on the property, like just not even leave the job site, just friggin', do whatever I did anyway, and nobody would have fucking cared. But
Yeah, you should have not told anyone and just done some heinous shit. Come on, that's half the fun of being a security guard, am I right? Oh, wait, no, you're not a cop. I'm sorry. That's... I get confused so easily.
Because, like, that one's a university campus, a California university, so, like, their laws are so prohibitive, it's not even funny, and it's like, it's more in favor of the kids, right? Because they want to promote kids coming to the university, doing what they do. And like, so you're not. It's not all of that, kind of. It's very prohibitive against the guard. Like the first night we were there, when they had students on, they ended up having a party in the dorm. And I called it in. They were like, "Did anybody complain?" No. All right, so leave them alone. I was like, "Okay, cool." But you could hear the music from like a 3-block radius, Of course. It's like, they're college kids. What are you going to do?
Spooky, Spooky, I'm a kid compared to you, but I'm damn near 30. I'm not middle-aged, but I am very solidly an adult area. Okay, I'm sorry, you sketchy marmoset. I didn't mean to completely... Look, I needed to respond to that. Yeah, no, they definitely do that, and I think that's probably also partially a California thing, where you're just like, hey man, guys, like, did anyone actually complain on the college campus? If not, then it's probably cool, man. That's just how I imagine the administrators at a college campus in California, well, where you live in California, acting and talking, just like, hey man, I'm actually Tommy Chong. That's just my theory. A game theory. My brain has only just... Honey, do you understand? My brain has been forming for 30-ish years, Spookus. What do you mean my brain is only just formed? I mean, hey, look, I have not emotionally matured since I hit the age of 10 or 11. To be fair, I have matured to the point of an adult because, like, I had to raise another child and was having the shit beat out of me at that. What do you mean my brain is only just formed? My brain formed just fine with all my abuse, damn it. I have a good fucking brain, and it's an old one. And it's set in its ways, Spooky.
the point of arrested development is that you have to your brain matures too quickly and you skip over steps, and then you have to go back and retrace those steps that we skipped when we got, whatever we had to do. Yeah.
Hey, look, I intellectually understand that, but also, I'm a wild animal, so I don't care. I guess. Does that make sense?
Wow. So you need to be reintroduced into the wild, nomadic and free. Yeah. My best friend, one of my best friends' parents just went back to live. Well, they lived for like 8 months out in Alaska, just living off the land in a cabin, and now they're going to Florida, I believe, to stay there. But it's all like homesteading. Like they just go out there, they build a lot on some land, and then they just live off of it and forage for a while, and then I guess move along, or I don't know exactly what the plan is, but that's what's going on right now. But she's retired. She's like almost 60 or something. So like, wow, that's like something to do when you get older, Like,
I would love. Here's the thing: if they would let me, if the government would let me, I would go and take a piece of land that no one's been using for decades, and I would live there and grow crops and hunt and fish and fuck and all that good old stuff. I'll build a building. I'll put up solar panels. I'll have electricity. I'll have Wi-Fi towers. I don't give a shit. But they don't do that. So I'm just saying I would. I'd love it.
Yeah, no, that's there is evidence of it on the internet, but yeah, she's not online, so she's out there completely disconnected. But her son, my friend, he goes out there and he films it. And he brings it back and he puts it up on YouTube. So, like, well, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can post. You can make your own like Wi-Fi or 3G or 4G towers. Like I'm not kidding. It's not that hard. Like people who homestead do it all the time. Yeah, I mean, obviously not the Mormons or the Amish or the people who think 3G gives you fucking COVID or whatever. But
I think out in Alaska, it's like the fiber optics. It's big. It's just hard to.
yes,
Right?
yeah, Alaska and the Midwest, lots of fiber optics. I wish I was in Ketchikan for a while in Alaska. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's like Washington State all year round for the most part. It's great. Like it never really gets snowy. It's just rainy. It's great. I love it. I was making good money. Why did I move? You ape, you, why did I move? Damn it. I'm asking you about my motivations.
I mean, I could try to read your past mind, but it would probably go horribly wrong.
Oh yeah, no, the reason I moved was I was like, haha, well, I don't have a job working here anymore. Let me go get a job somewhere else. Yuck, yuck. I got more places to drink. That's how that went. Hey, look, early 20s me was a lot less smart, even though it was more smart. You know what I mean?
Like, early 20s, you tried to keep a job. Because I didn't even try to keep a job. I was like, I dare you to fire me. I just walk in there, like, fucked up, hour and 10 minutes late. Be like, do you want me here or not? Because I'll just walk out. I don't care. And they'd be like, all right, fine, put your apron on and go to work. And then I was like, oh, okay, fine. I guess I'll stay. It's like, whatever.
My boss is the actual best. I don't know if I've told you this. So I was there. I'm washing dishes, right? as you do when you're a dishwasher. You're washing dishes. And the busser comes in. And he's like, hey, boss man. So, because like he's like 16, 17. He does not sound this awkward, by the way. He sounds and looks way too confident for someone his age. But continuing on, he's like, "Oh, geez, boss man. So like they're saying they can hear all the shit y'all are saying in the kitchen. They're not even set anywhere near the kitchen, and y'all aren't saying anything. So I don't know what they're mad about." And my boss goes, "Yeah, all right. So, the cook is listening to music on their headphones. Kid over there in the dish pit, I don't know what the fuck they do, but they're just doing their own thing quietly. I don't say shit unless it's about a goddamn order. So, what you can do, what you're gonna do for me, is you're gonna go out there. You're gonna go out there, and you're gonna tell them that they can go fuck themselves. And if they have any issues with that, please direct them back to me so I can help them fuck themselves."
Well, that sounds kind of like a mixed bag there, kind of a positive and a negative, thing.
Well, it's so funny because like you can't complain about hearing shit from the kitchen when no one in the kitchen's saying anything. And he is so old. He has no time for bullshit. So he's just like, "Hey, how about you go fuck yourself? And if you need help, I'll help you. I'll take your dick and I'll shove it into your ass, bitch." And it's like, Jesus.
I had some guy at a vets banquet. I was serving that night. I hadn't become a dishwasher yet, so I actually went from being a server to being a dishwasher. That's how stupid I am. But
It's easier.
Banquet. Yeah, well, it is. It is. And this guy goes to return his dessert plate to me, and he goes, "Look at this. What does it look like to you?" And over on the side of the plate, there's a tiny little kind of curly, dark hair. And I was like, "That's the hair, sir." He goes, "That's not just any hair. That's a pubic hair." I was like, confirm or deny. Maybe. It could be. It could have come from a mustache or a beard. I'm not sure. And then like immediately instinctively, I was like, "Well, our dishwasher's black." And I was like, "Oh, shit." Be a supervisor later. And so I ended up having to take this plate back to the dishwasher and tell him, I was like, "Hey, dude gave this back to me. He wants to complain because he thinks we put a pube on his plate." And the dishwasher's like, "Oh, really? Yeah, you think so? I'll get him a fresh piece of cake." And I don't know what he ever did with that piece of cake, but I just know I went back and served with satisfaction. I know. And people in the food industry don't tend to fuck with your food. Like, they're really trying to get in and out. Like, there's this common misconception. People are afraid of it because of their own shitty behavior. It's because of their own shitty behavior. It's like, "Oh, what do you think you deserve on your plate tonight?"
I've never... Okay, there was one place where I did worry, but that was a whole different thing because I didn't realize it was a white supremacist restaurant until after I ordered. And I'm queer and a Jew. Okay, but that was the only time I've ever worried about. Because, like, I just ordered from a restaurant, and it's like, hey, I'm going to be decent to the server. I'm going to be decent to the bartender. Because they're just doing a job. And if I ask for something and I can't get it, I'm not going to throw a fit. It's like, hey, that's whatever. If I get a hair in my food, hey, you know what? I know how it's like. Hair falls out of hairnets sometimes. They're not supposed to, but it happens. If I get a tiny hair in my food, oh no, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Right? So I don't worry about
that. More often at like family functions. Like, that grosses me out where like my grandma's hair or my aunt's hair or something. Like it's like the whole fucking hair in a casserole or something. It's like that's really gross. You have to like pull it out of your teeth or something, you know?
Yeah, when it's like a fucking 12-inch long hair and not a, half-inch mustache hair, right?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had it happen more often than not at like family events. Really. Like I've had some dirty fast food orders, but mostly like yeah. Like I'm more afraid of my own people. No. I will go out of my way if it's me cooking. I will throw things out, like even if it just falls on the counter, I'll just toss it right in the trash, rather than like some people will scoop it up and put it back in the pan or whatever.
We don't like ever do any of the like, oh, something fell on the floor, let's throw it in the thing. Like, we're a relatively upscale restaurant. We're an upper middle class. Like I don't get paid enough to afford to eat at the restaurant I work at. You know what I mean? Like, we're that kind of restaurant. But, I do get to eat there because I'm the dishwasher and I make sure everything's up to snuff for the health inspector, so I get to eat whatever and whenever I want.
That comes with the territory. That was one of the things I loved about working kitchen. Just eat, grub, drink all day, like, and nobody cared as long as it came out, went back to the pit, and started washing again. Like whatever. I was back there pounding beers, like eating steak. Like it was that part of it was cool.
Oh yeah, if you're a dishwasher, you kind of get to make your own rules, so long as you're good at what you're doing, right? Like,
yeah.
if you're cleaning everything, oh jeepers, hold on.
Yep.
Oh, and
what happened?
My phone is having a seizure. Oh, Pixie's back.
Hey.
All right.
My mom was close, but the little button on the gear shifting broke, and so we had to pull it out and teach her how to get it in park and out of park, so it can be replaced. We have to replace the button. Anyway, sorry about having to leave.
Hold on, I am mid-peeing, so I'm gonna finish, and I'm gonna hold this until the end of this sentence, and then I'm gonna finish and then come back, just because I feel like that would be rude to just pee and have everyone listen to it.
Well, thank you for the information, and
I think that sounded like a good choice.
Yeah, I think being a dishwasher can be a very liberating job. We were talking about, like, I remember I had a movie when I was young. It's like a B movie, but it was actually like they had big actors in it. Like it was Sean Astin, Brian Dennehy, and Matthew Lillard. And it was called Dish Dogs. It was just two dudes who like traveled the California coast in a van. Basically, they're like amateur philosophers, and they just work part time as dish dogs, just kind of like scraping by. And then the one dude falls in love, and then well, they both end up falling in love. Fucking romance at the end of the day, but it's a comedy too. It was pretty good, and I carried a lot of that with me, like through life, like the way I think about my work life. I don't know what you're doing now, Kat, but yeah, demon or something.
I wash dishes. That's all I'm doing now. I clean floors. I also clean floors. Oh, I've done all the cleaning the other cook, well, the only cook, I guess, hasn't done in like 2 years. I've spent the past 2 of my 1 days off for the past 2 weeks scraping shit off the floor and off the sides of shit. Which I'm not going to complain. That makes me pretty decent money. Like, I'm just saying. But
I feel like when you're doing that, though, like, you know why you're doing what you're doing, and like so much more. Like in my job, I've like come to wonder like how much effort I should really have to put forth, and it's like I feel like I'm putting out a lot more energy and time than what I'm getting back in the pay. It's like maybe I should just take a more simplistic job and alleviate myself of a lot of stress. And yeah, I'm going to make less money, but I'm also not going to have all this like anxiety in my off time and shit like that, right? Like leave and leave.
I just want to say about the anxiety and off time, I actively go for jobs where I can work. You can run me as hard as you fucking can, and I will give you 110% every fucking minute. But the instant I'm punched out, fuck you. Fuck you, don't call me. Don't expect shit from me. I'm gonna be late on Monday. Right, like that's how I operate, where it's like I don't want you to fucking be involved in my personal life. I don't want you to be don't fucking call me. Don't fucking ask for shit from me. When I'm on the clock, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not taking anything home. You give me stress, fuck you. I'm finding a new job. I'll work here until I do. That's my opinion.
Sounds fair to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. A lot of places do want you to, like, take it home with you. Which is kind of wild. They're like, oh, you need to bring the company culture home with you. Whereas my boss is just like, hey, so this fucking asshole. This fucking asshole said this isn't real Italian. How about they come back here and see my beautiful wavy hair? And it's like, I don't even know what that means. But, Godspeed. I would love to see what you think would happen.
Or like
when a complaining customer comes.
Anytime you start taking on-call work, and it's like, okay, I just got called in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, now it's gone from a 3 to 11 shift. Now I'm working 11 to 11. So it's gone from an 8 to a 12-hour shift. And it's like, okay, we got to prep for that and deal with it. But I need it, right? I need that money. I've already set myself up for this scenario.
Here's the thing. I liked working on-call shifts, but mostly because I was never called for on-call shifts. And when I was still there. Like, I would sleep on a couch at work when I worked on-call security shifts. I would just sleep on the couch. So they'd call me and I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Because I was already there.
I wish, but no, it's not that type of job. For me, like I'm like already like no, I'm already under scrutiny, and I've got to go from site to site. So that's another.
Oh yeah. Oh, I worked a patrol shift for a while on It wasn't a college campus, but it was basically the same setup, just for like whole ass adults. There was like apartment complexes and restaurants and all that kind of shit, like on site on the campus, and I got to ride around. I only did that for like a month, but it was so fun for me because I got to ride around. Do you get to do that at least?
Not the first one is pretty lame. No, I'm second to death. But the second one, yes, I do have a patrol vehicle.
Yeah.
Second. So, I remember I started at Standing Post, and I was talking about this with my human resources person a couple months ago. Like I went nuts working on Standing Post. I remember the first time I got a golf cart, I just went bananas. And then they put me out over Christmas at a Walmart, and the parking lot was empty, so it was just me in the company vehicle. I didn't even have a driver's license at the time, and I told him, I called in, I was like, I don't have a license. He's like, well, as long as you don't leave the property, you're fine. I was like, oh, okay. So I went out and patrolled Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I was like just psyched to be driving. And I was just rolling around the parking lot. Like it felt so liberating and stuff.
Okay, so here's a fun story. I used to have to drive patrols because we had 5 or 6 buildings, right? And they weren't on like one set of property. They were just kind of scattered around with like roads in between them. Like it was, a quarter of a mile to get from any one to any one of the others by walking. It's just by road, sometimes it was like a mile and a half to get from one to the other. And like they made me drive like patrols, and I had to use my fucking truck, and it just looked sketchy as fuck having my fucking beat up ass $450 truck just going around being like, beep boop beep, howdy hey, how there, ho there. It's 2:30 in the morning. We doing good, all right. I'm the security guy for real. You can see by my badge on my jacket. I'm not gonna rape you, little lady. Like that's how I felt every time I fucking rocked up to any security checkpoint. Like, hey, this is totally not sketchy, even though my company has vehicles for this. They refuse to dispatch one down here for me to drive.
Oh yeah, I know that. I did that. I did that with my other companies. Like after that, I ended up driving with another company, and I would patrol in my Mustang. So I'd show up in a black uniform in a dark gray Ford Mustang and be like, "No, I'm the security guard here. What are you doing here?" And I would roll up on other guards. I would just fuck with people like hard. Like I did not give a fuck out there in Sacramento. It was crazy. Like one time, I had a guard who was out there, and I legit fell asleep on the post. And he called my boss. So I wake up to my boss calling me, and he goes, "Hey, dude says you're not opening the gate." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a talk with him." And then I rolled up on him and was like, "Did you even try to like honk your horn or anything, or you just call and wrap me off?" And he started. So I threw the padlock right down on his dick. So I can straight up drop the padlock in his lap and then peeled gravel all over his car. And yeah, I might have overreacted to that one, but I was like, dude,
Well,
if you're over there and I'm over here, there's no reason you have to report this to management, right? You just fucked me, so fuck you. That was my mentality.
it's like I fell asleep while working as a guard a few times, and usually it's just, hey, wake up, asshole. Okay, you're good. Just wake me up next time I fall asleep. Right? Like it's, be decent. Like, because let's be honest, as a guard, you get worked ridiculous shifts. Because I'd work an 18-hour shift and then have 6 hours off and then work a 12-hour shift. Like,
See, they won't allow us to do that in California. They prohibited it under the labor law unless you're with Department of Corrections or
Oh,
a police officer. So we're not even allowed to do that.
that's even worse. It's specifically people who are allowed to shoot people. People who are allowed to shoot people are the ones who are allowed to get less sleep.
Well, technically, they're allowed to sleep while they're on shift, but they're still on call during those periods, like firefighters.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different then. See, I would just like take a nap. I'd be like, I'm gonna lean back in my chair and I'm gonna set an alarm for every 8 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like a public siren. You're all in a common quarter, so you can nap whenever you get the break. But when the call goes off, you're all supposed to get up and go deal with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I loved that job because, like, I loved working security because a lot of the time it was just me listening to podcasts or watching streams or whatever and staring at cameras. But then when I actually had to do stuff, it was like,
See, I'm the opposite. Well, I mean, I guess I've tried both, but I feel like the more I go into like listening to podcasts while I'm at work, like I lose focus, and if anything actually happens, maybe holds me accountable, I kind of feel shitty about that, and I worry about losing the job. Like it's like some people just feel like they don't give a fuck at all, but they seem to get away with it. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should take that mentality. I don't know.
I always gave a fuck, but like, I'm gonna take a nap when there's no one in the building. Yeah, when I am the only person in the building, I am setting my alarm for every 8 minutes. And every 8 minutes, I'm gonna spend 3 minutes checking all the cameras. Right? Like, because I do my rounds at this time, and this time. I can set fucking 16 alarms for 8 minutes straight when I'm not doing my rounds. What else am I gonna do in that time? I can sleep 5 minutes out of every 8 of those minutes and spend 3 of them checking the cameras. That's not me being lazy. That's me being, I've worked 35 hours and it's Tuesday. You know what I mean?
See, I feel like, yeah, I'd be the same way. That's why I don't do and I can't do desk job, because that's what gets me in trouble, because I will go to sleep or I'll just totally fuck off. Like the only thing that keeps me going is having something that keeps me moving. Like I have to do it every 30 minutes, every 25 minutes or something like that. Like otherwise, like in the span of an hour, I will space off completely, and then next thing I know, like half a day has gone by.
Yeah. I fell asleep while doing gate duty once. That was rough. I only fell asleep for like 3 minutes, but like in that I swear to God, it was 3 minutes. 4 people needed me, and I didn't respond on the phone. And I was just like, there was a phone issue. I'm sorry. And I didn't look like I was asleep on the camera, so I got away with it. But even then, if I had 4 people, I would have been able to deal with 1 in that time span, you know what I mean? Like, even if I was awake and there's 4 people, I would have only been able with 1, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, you know what I mean? I'm still only 1 person. I'm just real lucky none of them came up to the window. Is that... And this is why I don't like gate duty. Because when you're working gate duty for an 18-hour shift, that sucks. Because you can't do anything else other than sit there.
I worked at Post not doing data security. I was doing data security for like Facebook and some other tech companies. And I would go in and I had to work a 12-hour shift. It was like 4 days a week. But literally, like once you went in, you got like 2 10-minute breaks and a 30-minute lunch. But other than that, you're literally posted the same desk, same room. Like you
Yeah,
couldn't leave the bathroom without relief. Like you had to get another
yeah,
guard to come in. It was a whole ordeal. So you're literally stuck. And I was in there doing push-ups, like walking, pacing around like a 4x4 cube
oh
because
yeah,
I had to be serve them at all times. And I fell asleep at the desk. It was grueling. It was terrible.
yeah. Oh, when I had to work a desk job like that, I would just like sneak like chewing tobacco in like a spot where I knew there's a corner they couldn't see what I was doing. And then like they can't tell if I'm drinking out of the water bottle or spitting into it if I hold it at a certain angle. Like, because I have access to all the cameras, so I know what everything looks like, so I can see myself. So I just sit there and be like, I need the tobacco because otherwise I'm going to lose my fucking mind because I can't. I just have to sit here. There's no shipment coming in at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Nothing's happening right now. Can you please let me do a patrol at least? Like 2 patrols a night, that's good enough for me, right? Let me walk around for half an hour at least. No, I have to stand in this. I have to stand and or sit. It would be easier if it was standing, but I have to sit in this exact spot for fucking 16, 18, 12 hours, whatever it is. Ugh. Ugh, I hate that. Hold on. Have you ever gotten the option or ability I've had multiple times where someone's asked me to debunk a ghost claim, and I have.
Debunk a ghost claim?
Yeah, yeah.
Ghost, yeah.
Where someone's just like, "Hey, something weird's coming out of this room. There's a noise happening, or stuff always gets shuffled around in the middle of the night in this room, blah blah blah." And I'm the only person who doesn't believe in that shit, so I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll go in there and I'll fucking figure it out. And every time it's like, yeah, you're putting a stack of papers directly in the path of an air vent. That's why papers are getting launched everywhere. Or, whatever. I've had to do that like 6 or 7 times.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had a few in mind.
Or like, it's just a meth head, Like, those clawing noises are just a meth head because you didn't lock your door properly.
That's not good.
Yeah, you need to trim the branches of that tree outside your window. That's a good one.
Too.
Right, on that note.
All right, what was that? Pixie. You were saying something while
I said
sketching.
on that note, you just want to give me nightmares before I go to bed. You want me to lay there and question all the noises now?
No.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to be laying there going, did I block the dogs?
Is
the dumb dog out of, like, I have a really smart dog and have a really dumb dog, and is the dumb dog going to drag another possum into my house?
Oh, possums are just good boys.
They are good boys, and I have to catch them and release them back outside.
Yeah, well, you can just pick them up.
Are like, raccoons with their colors reversed, right?
You're what? What about? Hold on, I didn't hear that properly.
Aren't possums just like raccoons with their colors reversed? They're white on black. Yeah.
I mean, kind of,
they don't
yeah.
have the sneaky little hands.
No, they kind of do. They don't have thumbs the same way raccoons do, but they do have little weird grabby hands.
They do. They like to grab the cat food. I've noticed that. Super Munchkin has adopted a cat, and it likes to hang out in the garage. It's like its favorite place. It has its own little cave in there, its own little heating pad, its food, its water, scratching post, everything all set up in the garage. And so we leave we don't close the garage all the way. We leave it open just enough for the cat to squeeze through. And possums come through too. They're like, I
Yep.
want that cat food.
I'll give a family secret. We've had a dead baby possum hanging in our studio for like probably about 20 years now, close to that at least. And we consider it a symbol of good luck. So
Oh,
Or baby possum.
but they're so sweet.
yeah,
Why
he
you
was
like?
found
I mean,
it
it's
looks
not.
it's like basically mummified. Like, yeah.
Oh,
So
now I'm
Maybe I'll
yawning.
do that next time I come. Show you our dead baby possum. Not a whole lot of people get to see that.
I mean, I grew up in rural Midwest shit fuck nowhere. I've seen every dead thing. And
I
every
haven't
live
seen. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was the end of my thought.
Oh, I was gonna say I haven't seen a mummified baby possum, but I've seen a dead baby possum, unfortunately.
Well, they're so sweet. You can grab a whole ass possum and shove it in your shirt.
And they'll just
And they're
chill.
just-
I know.
Yeah,
They'll
and they're
pass the
just
fuck
like,
out.
oh, hey, this is like super cool. I'm warm in here. I like this. And they hug you. Like, they're the sweetest damn things.
And they'll like flip out and bite your face off like ferrets or something.
No, they
Possum?
hiss at you. They'll hiss at you and stuff, but it's just because they're absolutely terrified. If you go to actually touch them, they'll like freeze and pass out.
Well, yeah, you can. When a possum bites you, most of the time it just rests its teeth on you, and it's like, see, I can bite you.
Kind of like a domestic dog bite, where they kind of like,
Yeah.
Yep. On that note, though, I am going to go to bed. I'm glad you started earlier. And I'm glad you caught up with a bunch of people. And I will catch you next time. I will keep looking for you.
I'm sorry. Next time I'll try and set a pixie stream.
No, that is fine. I don't mind other people coming and talking. I had to run off and do a bunch of stuff anyway, so it's always good to have more people. And you never know when something crazy is going to pop up on my end.
That's true. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Did you see my stream? Huh?
Go ahead.
What? Oh, I was asking if you saw my most recent streams today.
I unfortunately have not. I think I saw you post it, and I think I was gonna listen to it while I was at work and didn't. It was like, what, a day ago today? I don't remember.
Yeah, I did 2 today. It was basically, so I did a stream with Jillian, and William ended up showing up. And so it was me and Jill and then the crew over at Jill's channel. I mirrored that. But then I was doing a response video on the open panel. So I did 2 of those. And it was pretty good, I thought it was, solid as far as, just calling out random bullshit on the other side, but whatever.
Well,
But William didn't show up, you know. I invited the guy over for a stream. He doesn't come by. I don't know what this guy's problem is. I thought we were friends.
Well, hey, I just started coming back doing streams. I'll come by if you're streaming while I'm not at work.
No, I'm just saying. If he's listening, I don't know what your problem is. I thought we were friends, man. No, I'm joking. But
Hey
if
man,
you,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Shit, man. Like I know we're bros. I didn't do bro shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. No, really, I do. But hey, I was out of this shit because I was busy getting arrested and dealing with legal troubles and a lot of shit.
Okay, let me tell you that one now. I had somebody arrested last week, and I felt really bad about it. But at the same time, the guy did assault me. So I'm like, I'm mentally torn. It was a minor assault, but I felt like, you know, and I'm way too Italian for all this shit. Like, I don't want to be calling the cops. It's part of my job description. But the guy fucking assaulted me with a shopping cart. What was I going to do, you know? I was like, I'm in my professional capacity. Either I arrest him or the cops arrest him. So the cops fucking arrested him, and now I got to testify, you know? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, assault is different than what I got arrested for. Hey, I was stealing some food to provide for myself and my family. Versus, like, if I rocked up and I was just like, hey, I'm gonna beat a motherfucker over the head with a cart. You know, I mean, if someone hit me with a cart, I'd be like, hey, motherfucker, what the fuck? And if they apologized, I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, please try not to do that. But if they were just like, yeah, bitch, fuck you, I hate you and your mom, and I fucked your mom behind the Taco John's last Tuesday, and there's blood everywhere because I fucked her ass with a spiked condom, I'd be like, okay, so awesome, I'm calling the police now, and they're going to arrest you. You know, there's a difference. You know, I don't know. I just feel like assault, you don't get to hurt someone, but like you can take food that you need from a multi-million-dollar corporation. I feel like there's a bit of a difference in power dynamic there, and you know what's
The
okay.
interesting
What's
thing
not.
about assault, though, like in assault, they don't really differentiate whether you just punch somebody in the mouth and split their lip, or whether you break their jaw, unless you get like a more severe case, right? But you know, that's one of those things. It also depends on the victim of the crime. But you know, like with the shopping cart thing. Wait, I was leading into something with that, and I totally like lost my train of thought on the broken jaw. Well, yeah, there's a difference, like whether you like actually injure somebody seriously or you just intend to injure somebody, because you have like assault with a deadly weapon where you try to stab somebody, you never stab them, but then you get like, you know, I don't know how long you get for it, but you get a long fucking time for it, you know, if you got the knife in your hand, you're trying to stab people. Damn it! I went 5 different
It
directions.
depends on the person you try to stab too. I mean, like if you were trying to stab some random poor person, they're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have 3 weeks in jail or a $200 fine, maybe both.
Well, if a random poor person stabbing another random poor person, the case might not even make the trial, right? Like, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm peeing. I will respond once I'm done. I have paused once again for this. I drink a lot of fluids.
I know how that is. But I think when you're a professional and you're dealing with this situation, you know, you gotta approach it a little bit differently. I mean, so I've got somebody in front of me, They're like violent. They're posing a danger to themselves and others. And got to try to assess the situation. Can calm the person down, which was the route I went with the guy. Like the guy with the shopping cart. Like he came in with the shopping cart. He was already a little, belligerent. I was like, okay, bro, I know you. Like, are you gonna sit here and chill and do your thing with the shopping cart? He's like, yeah, I'm cool. And then I walked over and screamed, what? I'm not gonna repeat what he said, but it was very offensive. And then I walked over and was like, okay, dude, can you stop? And then I walked away again, and then he walked off of the friggin', thing, and he came back out. And so I was like, okay. And then he was throwing shit around, and he like almost hit some people with shit he was throwing. And I was like, okay, you need to get your shit, go take it over there, and come back when you chilled out. And that was when he flipped out on me and tried to friggin' ram me with his cart. We got into a struggle for the shopping cart, and I did because he hit me the first time, with the shopping cart. So I grabbed the cart. I was like, all right, dude, try that shit again. And then, so it went there. So, and that shit's all on camera. I'm not just, it could show up on YouTube. I'm fine with it. Like, he did that shit. He caused that shit himself.
I mean,
I responded to it badly. I could say that I responded to it badly, but I don't feel bad.
I think you would have responded to that less badly than I would have. Because if I was like, hey, buddy, hey, you're doing a thing. Stop doing the thing. Move it over here and don't be throwing shit at no one. And then if they came at me and rammed me with their shopping cart, I'd be like, okay, so, fun fact, one hand has my taser in it, and the other hand has my collapsible baton. Let's find out what hits you first. And then after that, we'll find out which hits you more times. Because that's the kind of person I am. I mean,
that's like what you were saying about California earlier, though. And what I was saying was too, we're very restricted. Like, even if I was armed, in that situation, I wouldn't be justified to use armament. Like, because he hadn't drawn another type of weapon. Like, even that shopping cart is not sufficient. And it was up in the air. They said, well, we may or may not file assault charges based on the video evidence with him using the shopping cart. I was like, okay, that's pretty broad. So if you don't see a physical strike in the video, or you don't feel that I couldn't have fled from it, right? I'm like, when I'm just standing there and the dude literally rams me with a cart, but I should have just run or something. Those are the parameters we're under. It's pretty unrealistic. I mean, when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Because in Wisconsin, a lot of the times, like, especially if you're in a rural area, you act as the police on that particular set of property, right? Like, you can't arrest someone. You can't charge anyone with anything. But you oftentimes can detain them and use a reasonable amount of force to do so until the police come to sort it out. If someone's causing a large disturbance, if it's a minor disturbance, you're supposed to just shoo them away, basically. But, like, if there's any sort of violence, you're allowed to bonk them on the head and zip tie their wrists together and shove them in a room and be like, you live here until the cops come. That's so weird to me that California doesn't let you just bonk people on the head and be like, hey, you're threatening people, you're causing violence. Get in the hole.
No, they're like,
get in the hole.
Unless they actually, like, physically assault you or another person in your presence, you can't touch them. You can't keep them on the premises. And, like, in my position, I was in public space. And I'd be like, hey, the cops are on their way. You need to stop. And, they refuse to stop. I have no power in their situation. If I put my hands on them, then I've committed assault.
That is so weird. I mean, okay, because, like, a lot of states where I've worked in, like, it's assault if you hit them, but It's not if they like throw a punch at you first, you know what I mean? Like you might get charged with assault and have to sit in jail for 2 days. And then they'll be like, "Oh, we reviewed the footage. The court has determined you did not assault them." And you're like, "Cool. I got paid for these days anyways. I just got paid to hang out. That's cool."
And that was like fully my thought process. When he hit me the first time with the cart, I was like, okay, this is shaky. But if I could take this dude down right now, I might get a clear arrest because he just struck me. But then I second guessed myself and I took possession of the cart, which was actually a mistake. Like in reality, if I had just surpassed the cart and taken him down that moment and said, "You hit me," and just take him to the ground, I would have been justified.
You are right, because once you take possession of the cart, you can't do anything now because you've disarmed them, in air quotes. So you can disarm them, you can take that cart away, but then you can't do a goddamn other thing. So what you do is you just fucking tackle that motherfucker to the ground, because then they can't do shit, and it's the same legal consequence for you of, well, you just stopped him from being a menace. Right? That's all it is when you're... You have to figure out what the stopping part is, and it depends radically on the situation. Like, yeah, well, I used this to stop someone. Doesn't really matter what you used, so long as you didn't take anything from them. Like, if a methed out asshole comes at you with a fucking 8-inch blade, and you take the blade away from him, well, now you can't do shit. But he's still out there, and he's still methed out and 4 inches taller than you and has 100 pounds on you. But, you know, if when he pulls out the blade, you bonk him in the head with your fucking swagger stick, well, then that's the same. You disabled him. He couldn't use that 8-inch blade anymore.
Right.
It's such a weird system.
Yeah, and the laws they're very specific from state to state sometimes. I mean, that's why I don't get armed. Like, I can use pepper spray and handcuffs as far as I know, like under my training right now, like that's it. And I don't get anything more than that because it gets very complicated once you go above that level of what you're allowed to use. But that varies from state to state.
Yeah. Where I'm from, I was not allowed to use handcuffs. Only the police are allowed to use handcuffs. But I can use as many zip ties as I want on someone. I can hog tie a motherfucker with zip ties, and that's okay. But handcuffs? Nope, not in Wisconsin.
The California law on restraint is really weird because essentially, like, you have to either physically take them down, like in the scenario I described. If you actually tackle them and do their wrist, that's one scenario, which would be considered reasonable force only under very specific conditions. Or they basically have to just consent to being arrested by you. Like, and they can choose to wait for a peace officer to arrive. Like, they don't have to consent to it. And if anybody knows the rights in California, like a guard can say, "Hey, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest," and you can choose to comply with that or not. As long as you wait for the police to arrive, you're still technically in compliance under the law. But you can deny the security guard the right to arrest you, even if they have already stated that you are under citizen's arrest. So you're still in compliance with the law at that point. You just refuse to be restrained by a security guard, essentially.
I think part of it, though, is I worked in places where it's not a public area. I primarily worked in private areas, if that makes sense. So that might also be part of it. Like, I'm working as security in a chemical plant. If you do something sketchy, I can drop your ass to the ground because I don't want you fucking turning this place into the next goddamn Chernobyl, right? Don't do sketchy shit. You know, stuff like that. Or like, I'm working in a place where it's like a lot of like ex-cons or like people on work release. I can be like, hey, you put that fucking knife down, you're not allowed to have one, otherwise I'm gonna hurt you. Because you were convicted for stabbing someone 17 times. You put that knife down now, or it's going in you, right? Like, I think that might also be a different thing, too.
Oh yeah, if they have the weapon, that's a clear self-defense case that like anybody can make. You can take the weapon from them, and only in California will people argue that you shouldn't then use the weapon against them to defend yourself, right? But most commonly, yeah, if you take that weapon from them and they're threatening you, you may be justified in using it on them, right? But that's like a pretty extreme case.
I mean, I got arrested in Wisconsin. This had nothing to do with security stuff. I got jumped by 3 dudes, and I won the fist fight. I had 2 concealed carry pistols on me. I called the ambulance because, well, one of them ran away and 2 were unconscious and bleeding. So I called an ambulance and the cops, and I was like, hey, so this is what happened. And I had my guns, like, they were, pulled apart and everything. They were disassembled, laying on the ground. I got arrested for excessive use of force under the act of self-defense because I didn't shoot them.
So I've got a story for you. When I was really high on meth, I was really high on meth. My ex-girlfriend had some dudes over at her house. He had a minivan. I knew the minivan, and he had previously threatened me. So I showed up. I get back from work, and I have an aluminum baseball bat in my car. So I proceed to bash out like 3 of the windows in his minivan, and I'm twacked out of my mind at this point. Well, he comes out, and there's a second dude. I didn't know there was a second dude at the time. So 2 dudes come out of the house. I'm outweighed and outnumbered, and I just got this little aluminum bat, and so I freaked out. I tried to get my vehicle out of the driveway, but basically what happened was my vehicle stalled out as I was pulling out of the driveway. He busted the window out of my car. I abandoned the car, took off. I'm running down the street screaming, "Call 911! Call 911!" And then I abandoned the bat. I lost that. I was like, okay, now there's no evidence of it. It's his word against mine here. And so I get clear down the street, and I saw the cops get into the house. I just managed to get to an AM/PM restroom and hid out there for a while, and I took off down the street back to the place where I was washing dishes, and I hid out in the laundry room there for a while. And the next morning, my boss came in, fed me breakfast, and he was like, "Hey, some guy's been calling the hotel telling me you're wanted by the police." I was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. I just had a little bit of scuffle last night, but it's all good." And so next thing I know, I end up going back and finding out basically what the cop told the guy, because they ended up taking my vehicle, and they went out searching for me in my own vehicle. They were driving around in my car because I left the keys and everything. They were trying to beat my ass all night, and I just managed to escape on foot. But the cops told him, they were like, "Well, he broke your windows, you broke his window, now you have his car." So it's basically a civil confrontation at this point. So you can go and file against him in civil court, or go shove your claim up your ass, right? Like they weren't going to pursue it at all, and I
Yeah.
thought that was great.
Well,
So
yeah,
he ended up squatting at my ex's house for like 3 or 4 days and then taking off, But it was just stupid. It was stupid.
that's what happened with me in that situation. Is they brought it to criminal court and said I cornered them, and the criminal judge was like, "I am not fucking dealing with this." Like, okay, this asshole clearly was over prepared for you, and y'all very clearly, one human being cannot corner 3 humans on a bridge. That's not how fucking geometry works. So this person may have unduly hurt you, however you started it. This is a civil case. And it wound up going to mediation, and they were just like, I'm like, I could have killed him. I had the guns that were loaded legally, and I had every legal right to. And it wound up just being like, fine, yeah. And I'm like, you did this. I could have. I didn't. And it wound up being like me paying $40 in reparations total for all 3 of them. And
See, that's what I think of with that bat. Like, it could have gone the way that, like, I might have beat those guys' fucking heads in. Maybe I would have won. Maybe they would have taken the bat and just beaten the shit out of me, and I'd, be a fucking quadruped or something right now, or like fucking they're quadriplegic. I'm being obtuse there, but like I'm kind of glad that it went the way it did. It might look like like I bitched out. I'm like, yeah, I ran, I ditched the bat, I got the fuck out of there. Like, why even test the rules of nature at that point? Like, I don't want to know what else.
oh, well, like, here's the thing. I'm bigger than most people my size. I weigh 260 some odd pounds, and I'm like 5'8", 5'9", and I got arrested for stealing groceries not that long ago. I'm not fat. I am just huge. So, like, when someone wants to fight me, I'll fight. I'll fight 3 people and win. I'm not going to go out of my way to kill you. But, like, if you start it, you don't then get to push criminal charges on me when I win. Like, oh, where, you tried to stab me and I knocked you the fuck out in one punch. Or I grabbed your hand and broke your wrist. Like, oh, where, you tried to stab me and I broke your wrist. Oh, you fucking cry some more. I don't know. Like, you started it. Don't fucking pick fights with people who are twice your size and the same height. I guess. Like, my arms are bigger around than some motherfucker's thighs. I could eat some people. And that's not like me fucking fluffing my own cock. I'm just a very large human. I've been chopping wood since I was 8. Like, I'm just a big motherfucker. And that's okay. Just, you don't get to fucking cry when you attack me and I win, right?
Cannibalism is bad.
Like, okay, here's the thing. If I went out, okay, so the people who stole my bike, if I found the guys who stole my bike and I went and fist fought them and I got my ass kicked, I don't get to go cry to the cops being like, well, they hurt me. No, you know what happens? You take your lumps and you move on with life. You're like, yeah, well, that was a dumb decision, huh? Now, you made the smarter decision of just running. I can't. I'm a cripple. I can't run that far.
I do feel like I should clarify though. The other guy was the guy who called the cops while I was fleeing. He called the cops.
Yeah, I know.
I was yelling to call 911, but he had called the police. Not me.
Oh yeah, no. You did the thing and you're just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Right? That's what you did. And then he called the cops in your car, presumably?
No, that was before he'd taken the car. They came after me on foot. They didn't take the car until after the cops had gotten there. And the cops were like, well, it's in the street. The keys are in it. The cops basically gave him possession of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, they do all kinds of weird shit. I still don't understand how they haven't arrested the people who stole my bike. I am so confused about that. I don't understand how the fucking park patrol works. 'Cause like a multi-million-dollar corporation loses $60 and I get arrested. They're not losing anything from that $60. Me, who gets my bike stolen, which is my way to work, which is the most expensive thing I own, they do nothing about. I don't understand how that works. I will never understand how these. I mean, at least I live in New York and they have more of an education than in Wisconsin, but it's still not a whole lot more. It's like, oh, you have 3 months instead of 6 weeks. Wow. Yikes. I think I had more education as a security guard. It's sad. Oh, anyways, let's talk about something more light. Hey, so did you hear about Aaron Rodgers? So Aaron Rodgers is quarterback for the Jets instead of the Packers now, right? And on his first game, he got his Achilles tendon torn. So you want to know what Aaron Rodgers is doing to try and fix his Achilles tendon faster?
Masturbate.
Oh, close actually. He is listening to the sounds of dolphins fuck because he believes that has healing properties on muscles and tendons.
Yeah, no doubt. Some woo YouTube channel. Turn him on to that idea.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a complete fucking, which is so weird because he is the only professional athlete of any real, any professional athlete that's like done something like won a Super Bowl or anything that's openly atheist that I'm aware of. But he does every woo-woo magical fucking nonsense shit ever. But he's openly an atheist. It's so weird to me that he is openly atheist. He's just like, yeah, this whole fucking God thing just kind of seems like bullshit. Also, I listen to dolphins fuck because that has healing properties. I listen to Joe Rogan because I think he's a better epidemiologist than actual epidemiologist. What the fuck? Your skepticism stops at Jesus? Everything else, you're just like, yeah, that's cool.
Well, yeah, on the one hand, I mean, I do tend to trust pub chat, more often than anything that's syndicated. But yeah, I also understand that, yeah, I don't know, that's a weird double standard to have. And I mean, and just the mere premise of the sounds of dolphins fucking having healing properties. I mean, maybe the sound of anything fucking under that pretense could have healing properties potentially.
Okay, so this is even worse because he believes that dolphin noises in general fixes autism. Fixes autism. That's some language you can use. But like, yeah, and he believes specifically dolphins having sex. That noise? Like, he thinks autistic people benefit specifically from hanging out with dolphins because they make cool noises. Which...
Could you imagine the peer-reviewed scientific papers on this subject?
Oh, there's at least 2. And basically what it comes out to is, and this doesn't have anything to do with dolphin fucking, this is just like autistic or like mentally, you know, what's the word? Cognitively impaired or delayed kids. Yeah. Hanging out with a dolphin is a really good motivation to like do the things people expect you to do. It doesn't necessarily like fix the problem or, you know, do anything to actually change what you're feeling. But you will act a certain way if you get to hang out with a dolphin for 40 minutes.
Are you saying that essentially dolphins are very easy to train and condition?
You're what?
It sounds like you're saying that dolphins are easy to train and condition.
No, kids are. If you're a fucking 8-year-old and you were told, hey, you need to talk to this person more, your mom or your dad or whatever, you need to say more words, and you get to fucking swim with a dolphin for 40 minutes, are you telling me you're not going to do exactly whatever the fuck that person says so you get to fucking hang out with a dolphin?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't like swimming very much, but it sounds like hanging out with a dolphin would be pretty awesome. Maybe I would have liked swimming more if they had introduced that incentive.
Yes, which is what they found out in the 2 peer-reviewed studies that I've read. Basically, kids are just like, dude, I don't even like this shit, but I want to hang out with a dolphin. That's cool as fuck. And Aaron Rodgers has taken that and extrapolated to dolphins fucking helps muscle and tendon growth. Possibly ligaments too. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I don't believe in COVID.
I don't know who that is.
Aaron Rodgers. He was the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers for a decade, and now he's the quarterback for the New York Jets.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
I don't know. He's been on Joe Rogan's YouTube channel. I'm trying to think of where else. You can look it up. You can look up, if you look up Aaron Rodgers dolphin assisted therapy, you'll be able to find him being like, yeah, I listen to dolphins fuck. It helps my leg feel better because I'm a big smart brain man who done went to the college. And it's like, sir, that's not how anything works. That's not, no. I mean, I listen to isopods fucking sometimes just because, you know, there's fucking two little fucking pill bugs fucking on the side of the road, and I happen to be standing there and I hear them. That doesn't fix my fucking the fact that I have to shit 7 times a day. Like, that's not how that works, man.
Yeah. Well, of course, like, sexual gratification is fulfilling, but I don't see how specifically the sounds of the sexual gratifications of one other species might be preferable over another's. Maybe it might be fulfilling to someone who's psychologically sound on all levels. I mean, independent of whatever species is fucking any species that is fucking. Yeah.
For context, he also likes to so you know what solitary confinement in prison is like. So
Yeah, I've been on a 50/50, so I kind of.
yeah, he does that for funsies. He gets locked in a cave, like a tiny cave that they put a giant rock door over, and he sits there with no light, no human contact for 5 days, and the only thing he gets is food fed in through a slit or a slat or whatever in the fucking door. And that's the only light or human contact he has. And he does that. That's
not long ago.
torture.
I saw a movie like that called The Human Zoo. It was pretty sadistic, and they have people basically who sign up to do that, and they're like, okay, you'll do it for a certain amount of days, and then they just keep them in there and see how long it is before they start freaking out, and then people just are like randomly freaking out. But it takes like sometimes weeks or months. They're like, oh yeah, it's like an endurance competition, like to see how long I stay in here before I start begging for my life, and then it's been like weeks and weeks in there, and they're like, oh shit, like this shit's real, and they never let any of them out. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, he just does that for funsies. Like, that's what he does when he's not playing football. Like, that's how fucked up. Like, hey now, I'm fucked up in the head, but I'm not so fucked up that I'm like, oh, I want to be locked in solitary confinement with no idea of when I'm ever getting out and no concept of time. That just sounds like a fun day or 3 years to me. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Look, I'm just very glad the Green Bay Packers still look good without him. And, well, the Jets already don't have him, so, because he's out until at least January. Maybe if he's lucky, December.
I commented this new feed that says, I don't like subscribe to the competition and everybody wins. But, like for the Packers, like cool being like, and whatever works for you works for you. Like the meditators, like they do this stuff, like go out into a cave or get locked into a cell or something, like, and they do it for like spiritual enlightenment or something. Like sometimes it might, help to like isolate yourself from the confirmations of society and the pressures.
Oh, no. He doesn't do it for mental reasons. He thinks that physically helps your musculature heal. Like, and he thinks that can stop you from being sick or heal sickness. Like, yeah, here's the thing. If you want to, because I'm not gonna lie, if someone locked me in a cave for 5 days and just gave me food and I didn't have to see light or people, I'd find that pretty chill. Like on a mental level, I don't have to deal with another human being. It's pretty cool. But like, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that'll fix your anal fissures. That'll fix your eczema. I'm not gonna say that. That's weird. That's wrong. That's not even remotely correct.
Not even close to the truth, baby.
I don't know. It's getting.
Speaking of anal, it
Yeah.
is getting to be. What time is it now? Oh, it's 11:15 my time, so it must be getting late for you.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say it's 2:15. I was just about to say like it's about time for me to be hitting the old dusty trail.
Well, kick up dust along your way. Keep keeping up dust. Yeah.
And hey, I'll the next stream you do, if I'm around, I'll try and fucking hop on in. Okay. I love you, man. You're one of my favorite people.
Yeah, much love to you.
Yeah.
Love you too.
I'll see you around, man. Take her easy.